Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, and this time we'll explain how to paint the Briar Queen. So this is the from the shades, not Shadespire, the Night Vault Warhammer Underworld's Night Vault starter kit, and I will paint this completely on this tutorial. So we are going to start with the base, and on the base I will start first applying etching gray on the stones. Okay, I want to start with the deepest part first, then go up. So we are going to apply this on where we have the stone. Okay, and yeah, just that, and I'm back once this is done. Okay, the gray is done with etching gray. Now we are going to apply Ruinous Height on the parts where we have the sun or this type of it's called this earth. Okay, and as usual, thin layer with all these parts. Okay, so I do that and I come back once this is done. So this has been done. I will not do the other details because I want to divide brush first, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the stones, because the stones is I like that they get like dirty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight them first. I will use a storm vermin fur, so like a middle gray. Okay. I'm going to do something like that, like a little bit of edge highlight. Okay, it's just to give some initial texture, and I like to make this contrast of warmer gray with the cool color gray that was the, or cold gray that was the etching gray. Okay, so this is the first step. I'm going to go for thinner brush, and we are going to apply now downstone. Okay. If you want to do this with dry brush, you can do it as well, but then you need to wait that the brown is completely dry. Here I make a mistake, so I come back, I will use a little bit of etching gray. On top, this mistake will add some variety to the grays. So not a big problem. Okay, and then I will do, as last touch, I will use Administrating Way. Sorry, I put the finger on top. We are going to add this. Okay. Okay. So now I wait that the brown is drying before doing the dry brush, and yeah, I will be back once the devil brown is dry. Now that the Rhinos hide have dried, we are going to apply some dry brush here, so I will start with Morphin brown. Okay, we do quite. And this way you do this now, because if not you dirten all the bones, and I want to have the bones lighter, and I want them to be dirt. As well as the plant, the thorn and the roses, okay? You can go a little bit on top of the rock if you want, just to give a little bit of tint. Okay, next I'm going to use skunk brown. Or you can use skunk brown is okay. You can see I'm not doing too much, but when I go on top of the sun, I do very little pressure. And here on the rocks, I also dirten the rocks a little bit. And finally, I'm going to use Tau Light Aqua. This one we are going to dry it a little bit more. And very soft, we go on top of the one. You can also go on top of the stones. And here we are. So let's paint now the thorn. I will paint only first the base, and then I will do the miniature later on. So I don't paint the thorn, this thorn here. I will paint the one, this. On the base. Okay, and to the thorn, there is several colors you can use. I like to go for a dark quite a dark green, so I will use something that is not very bright. So I will use a Death Walled Forest. I will use any similar to this one. And we are going to do this on the thorn. So I will paint the thorn and I'm back once this is done. Next, I'm going to use this batty bone to do the bones on the base. Okay, again, thin layers. This batty bone have quite a good coverage. Don't have to be too concerned. Okay. Next, I'm going to paint the roses, and I'm doing them purple, I mean. So I'm going to use Gen Steeler purple to paint them. Okay. Because later on we will do the same for the ones on the thorn. Now, as I said, I'm focused on the base. Okay, so we paint different roses, and I'm back. Okay, next step we are going to do a wash of aqueous earthshade over the whole base. Okay, so we are going to take aqueous earthshade and apply it quite nicely everywhere, including the roses. Okay, the roses will have a darker color that will, I think it's what I'm looking for, and also including the thorn. Okay, we apply it everywhere, as I said. The bones will have this too much here, so we remove it a little bit. Also, even though it's the base and it's much, yeah. Okay, so we have here the base, and now we wait until this dries before doing anything. Especially when you do the base, you want to avoid to keep touching the miniature, because if not, we are going to mess up, and we are going to, with the fingers, put the wash everywhere. So I'll wait that this dries, and I'm back. Okay, next step, I'm going to start painting the clothes. So what I will do is, this is the guy that I have used as a test, but it's going to be different for this lady. So we are going to do this type of greenish color for the main parts, okay? And then we are going to go for armor here. I will paint this like armor, and then I will paint this with the same greenish color, and the top part I will go for a bone color, okay? Something different, to have two types of white. On the lady I will not use rust as I have used on the other one, to show that she is the leader and she has magic powers. So what I'm going to do now is the part that I want to do green. I will apply a base of blue horror. Okay. So this greenish thing is going to be something that is between blue and green, and this is why I'm applying now blue horror. Okay. So we apply blue horror here on all these parts. And I have to say this is quite a band that is quite fast to paint. I will say that maybe it's faster to paint these guys than the Stormcast Eternals for me. Okay. And I think there are more thorns here. It is like a small thorn here at the end. Okay, I will do this. Checking what is a thorn of this. So I will paint everything and then later on I will figure out. Okay, it's better to do everything and figure out later on. So we are going to do as well what is the arms and the face. I will go also for this bluish greenish color. Okay. Here, yeah, we'll do this, and I see that there are thorns in more places. This is also one of the things that you will always realize when you start painting a miniature. You will find more details than when you really just watch the miniature, or just when really when you start painting is when you start seeing all the different details. So I will do that and I come back once it's done. Once the horror blue has dry, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to apply Nihilite oxide on the parts where we paint the previous blue. Okay. We are going to do, so I'm not going to be very careful, and we want to cover almost everything. Just be sure that the brush strokes are not that visible. Okay. But this is more like, this is going to be for me more like a base color than really a wash, right? You can see I'm applying this quite generously. It's not, and also I realize the Nihilite oxide, it's quite thick in pigment, so it covers quite a lot. So this is why it's almost like it's more like a base color, almost. It's even, or maybe like a glaze, we can say. But as the base uniform is, the color below is quite uniform, so it will give also a uniform layer. But this is okay, because later on we are going to do the highlights. So as you can see, we're going to apply this. I really like a lot this color to do this type of ghost look. Okay, here we have a small thorn. You can see we are going to apply this as well on the face. I'm doing this now because it's a little bit messy to do this, so I want to do this part first, and then later on we go for the other details. So I will finalize applying this on the other arm, and also finalizing this arm, and then I'm back for the next step. So this is how looks like when the Nihilite oxide have dry. And next I'm going to apply a speed metal from scale 75 to do the armor of the lady. Okay. So we are going to put a little bit. I like a lot. I think scale 75 metallics have a very small size of metallic pigment, metallic particles, and give a very clean metallics. Okay. So I want to give the impression of silver for this armor, like a magical touch, right? A magical type of metallic, very clean, opposite to the other metallics that we are doing on the other miniatures. So I'm going to apply this on this armor. Now I'm realizing here, for example, I miss a gap, so we are going to do this now. No, I mean when I finish doing the armor. So you will see that on top of white, this metallic is not, maybe not that visible. Again, the intention is to give very nice and smooth metallic to this. With the same silver, I will do this part here. And then this part we will do it with gold. Not a little bit more. This part to show that I'm doing a okay. So as I said, I miss small parts there, so with nickel oxide I will do this. Okay. And I will go a little bit here. Okay. Next, I'm going to use a cream color. Okay, it's going to be flayed one flesh. Okay, and we're going to use this on the top, on this part. Okay. And this to give a different, to add some variation, avoid to have everything on the same color. differentiate this part like we do the black on the other guys. This lady want to go on white, so this way I'm doing this white. If you do it black, you can also do this black, this piece of cloth black. She will look, I want to give the appearance of a bride. Okay, if you go with black, you will give the appearance of a widow. So it's all up to you. What is the appearance that you want to give? I want to give more the appearance of a white, a bride, right? So I finalize this and I will be back for the next step. While this is drying, now I'm going to paint the scabbard of the sword, and I will use Dumble Brown, so I go for a dark brown there. Okay, we paint this. And we're going to paint as well this part. Okay. Next, we're going to work on the gold, and for the gold I will start applying Retributor armor. We are going to put this one here. Ornament that she's wearing. This is the cowl of the queen. Right? We are going to do as well these small things here. And the decoration on the sword. So we're going to start with this thing. looks like a small. Yeah. We do this. We're going to do the balance weight of the sword as well. Well, it's called sword, but it's more a dagger. It's not really a sword, I think it's more a dagger. And we do that. Because this bell looks like a small chain. Maybe it's like a small rope. I think gold gives a very nice and a royal look to her. Clearly this dagger is more for decoration than really for utility. Okay. Now I'm going to paint the thorn. And to do that, we are going to use the same green that we have used up to now. So I'm going to go with Death Walled Forest. And we are going to paint the thorn with this color. Okay, starting from the back. And then you can see the thorn is causing her. Okay, so I do that and I'm back once it's done. So next step, I'm going to use Genestealer Purple on the roses. Okay. We start from the point where I think the green paint is drier. And we are going to touch all the roses with Genestealer Purple. Okay. So I will do that rose by rose. Here I will do this green, so I forgot some green there. So I will do that rose by rose and I'm back once it is done. Okay, we have now all the base colors applied and we will start doing some washes. So I will start applying Raglan Flesh Shade on the gold. Be careful not to... Yeah, we have to be quite precise, so I will keep using the small brush because I really want not to go on top of the cloth with that. Okay. I want to be as precise as possible. We are going to apply it here as well. color. This thing is really thin, so we're going to clean up a little bit. Okay. We're going to do as well these things. Okay. Next, I'm going to use nude oil, but again very carefully on the armor. And here I want to go with, you don't want to put too much nude oil. Okay, just enough to make the shading, but avoiding that it's looking dirty. Okay, I don't like to use the gloss one because I think it's more the sensation of like if the armor is wet, more than really giving the sensation of shading metallics. Okay. See, here we are. Now we will wait that this parts dries. And we see that everything looks compensate the shading. We're also going to do the bottom of this scarlet. Okay, and we go on top of the brown part. Okay, and the last wash I'm going to apply agate air shade on top of the thorns and roses, as we did on the roses we have, on the thorn we have on the ground. Okay, so I'm going to do like that. And don't forget any part. This will give much depth. And also I want to make the roses look darker. Okay. I do that and I'm back once it's done. Okay, next we are going to work on the highlights on the green part. And to do that I'm going to use blue horror, what was the base color, and white scar. Okay, here we have the two colors. So I will start with blue horror. You will see at the beginning will look very stark, but once dries and we do all the highlights, will look much better. So we're going to start from the bottom, from a part that you want to highlight, and I want to go quite light at the end of these pieces of cloth, right? So we want to go, especially in the borders, we are going to follow the borders. Okay. You see, be careful. Normally you should wait that the wash have dried, but as I'm a little bit, I want to do this and move ahead. I'm not waiting, but you should wait that the wash is dry. So I will need to be careful not to touch the wash on the thorns. That is still fresh. Okay, this is what happens when you. Okay, I'm using blue horror at this moment. Okay, you see that is looking. The color is looking quite stark. the change. Don't be too much concerned on that at this stage. Okay, now you can also, if you work with the dilution and the intensity, you will manage to help you on the on softening the transition. Okay, but I go over all the parts that I usually want them to be lighter. Okay, here, here, and this part. We're going to do this border. Then I'm also doing the hands. And on the arms, I like to do something like that. You want to work with you want to give the sensation of ethereal. Okay. And I will work now just the back. And later on we are going to work while the front is going to be done in the same way. But I will do it off camera because it's going to be a repetition of the same. So just showing some examples how to do it, and you can imagine that we do the same in all the different parts of the miniature that have the same color. Okay, as you can see, I'm really insisting at the end. Now I'm going to take a nihilate oxide. We can mix this a little bit with the blue horror, and we go up. Okay, just to wet a little bit this area. And now we go with nihilate oxide pure. And we help on the mix here. Okay. So the intention, again I mix a little bit, is to smooth now all the transitions of the highlights that we have done. Okay, but one thing that now will help a lot is we are going to add white scar. Okay, this is a much intense white. Well, it's pure white. And will help on. So we put it just at the end. It now will give the sensation that the transitions are smoother because we are creating really a strong white part at the end. Okay, something like that. We can take some of the folds, like this one, and follow this up. Now we go with blue horror, and from top we go down. Okay, we can do the same on this other fold. Okay, and I go. sorry. Bottom, we keep doing this. We do well the hands, as you can see. Let's say the font, I will do it off camera. So now we can add some additional highlights here. Because when you add the white, one of the things that it's doing is that the highlight that at the beginning was looking quite strong and maybe a little bit stark, now they look softer because we have added this white. That it's changing the scale of whites we have. So these ones are too stark now. Now we go with a little bit of Nihilat outside. And we go on top of this. Okay, and this is smooth very nicely, as you can see. The highlights we have done. On the face, as well, we want to highlight the face, so I go with pure white first, in that case. We are going to highlight the face, the teeth, okay, with here, the chin, and now with blue horror. Okay, see the face. Say I don't want to go for bone color on the face. I want to go more for a ethereal look. Okay, and then on this thing, you see that once we apply this, it's going to be quite strong, the highlight. So this is why I want to use flayed bone flay. I have the sensation is with going a little bit higher on this green color helps to do the highlights. And these are mainly all the steps to paint this lady. I think we're going to do too many. We need to do some highlights on the thumb. Now I will focus on finalizing and try to. I'm going to take a little bit of swimming school. With the swimming school, I'm going to go just next to the white. Help a little bit on the transition. And why that is looking too stark. Here as well. Because you don't want this to look white. So now we will do the rest of the nickelite oxide. Okay, this is how it looks like. I will do the rest of the nickelite oxide and I come back. So this is how it looks like now that I have done the different highlights. And just, I will not do too much, I will work just a little bit on the thorn. So I will use Lorem Forest, okay? And we are going to do some random highlights on the thorn. We have some leaves and we have some, so try to not to overdo, because I like how the dark color is looking like. So I will just go some just do it a little bit more. To add a little bit of color variation is mainly the objective. I'm going to touch the spikes. Remove a little bit because it was too much. You can see I go quite, I try to go thin and transparent. Okay. What we need to clean up that I forgot to do it before, we need to go this part and clean up a little bit. So to do that, I will first apply Gauss Blaster Green. To clean up, it's going to look different than the color we use, the nickelite oxide. The point is we want to cover this. Okay. Clean over here. I will wait that this dries, so while this is drying, we'll finalize the highlights on the thorn. Okay. Now I will take nickelite oxide. Now clean up this. Like that. Okay. I'm going to use, we'll keep using a little bit more of Lorenguin. Okay. Okay. I will leave the flowers quite dark as they are. I like how they look like. And I think the only thing I will do, I will apply very little, but a little of BL tan green on the gold, especially on the crown. Okay, to give just a little bit of depth. And then on the scarab of the dagger, I'm going to apply a little bit of skag brown. And with that, I finalize the work on the Briar Queen of Thorns. So here you have the paint job, and this is finished one. So this is how the warband will look like. So quite happy how they look like. I hope you have liked this tutorial. Please let me know what do you think about the paint job. Give a like if you have liked this video. And yeah, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.